Well, good evening. Welcome to another episode, Let the Truth Be Told. My name is Sean Williams, and I thank the Lord for being in the studio once again, being surrounded by some good guys today. Thank the Lord for the director of the UPTV being able to tape this program for us, Banner City government for keeping this program going. And I thank the Lord for being able to be in the presence of these two good brothers. On my right here, Teddy Kane Jr. and a.k.a. Terrell. And then on my left over here is my good friend, Herbert Burnett. We call him Coach Hub, Minister Hub, and a bunch of different hats that he wears in the community. It's been a long time coming. We want to come back to you guys real soon, and it don't always work out like that. But I thank the Lord for being able to be in front of the camera once again today with all of you guys over our social media outlets. Tag and share. Make sure you tag and share. Put your comments in. We'll probably respond to them after the program. But we thank the Lord for being able to be in front of the mic. You know, we came up with a program a long time ago, me and Brother Hub, talking about what do you do with your mic? You know, what are you doing with your mic? What are you doing with your mic? What are you doing with your mic? What are you doing with your platform? We normally have a title for our program, but we go untitled today. Like I told you guys in the beginning of the script, we got some programs coming to you. We got some podcasts that we're working on, and a bunch of different stuff that we're gonna be doing with the new technology.
What's the name of your podcast you got coming?
Man, it's gonna be called Sean Williams Ask the DA Undertaker.
The Undertaker. Okay, I'm looking forward to that.
And so we're gonna be streaming that through our.
Did Jimmy Pettigrew come up with that name? Because he's the only one I know called you the Undertaker. He motivated you to come up with that name.
The hip hop Undertaker. The hip hop, you know.
Shout out to Jimmy.
Yeah, but I thank the Lord for being here and being able to get this program. And I know we're gonna get into some deep conversations here about a bunch of different stuff that affect our community, our own personal lives, and this great nation. And so, Brother Hub, introduce yourself to the viewing audience.
Herbert Burnett, Coach Hub, Brother Hub, newly elected Pastor Hub. So I'm really excited about that. I've been running from it all my life, and I've been waiting on it all my life. And so my father, Bishop Underwood, is hanging up the hat, and he's passing the baton to me, and I don't take that lightly, but I'm excited about what New Free Will Baptist Church is going to do in the community.
Well, congratulations. Congratulations, and also to your dad, your mom, great people in the community, pillars in the community. It's been on so many different fronts. It's just it's unreal and unnameable, the type of things that they've done in our community. To my right, go and introduce yourself.
Hey, my name is Teddy Kane. A lot of you know Terrell, Teddy Kane. I'm just glad to be here today. I appreciate y'all bringing me on once again. I got a lot of good feedback from the last program you invited me on. But man, it's just a blessing to be in front of these two good brothers who play a big, huge part of my life as mentor. You know, with mentorship. One thing that a lot of us brothers need. You know what I'm saying? No matter the age. You know what I'm saying? We all need somebody we can talk to and just give you an example of what manhood is. You know what I'm saying? We got more than enough examples of the wrong way to go about things. So this show is real tremendous and giving an example of.
You know, one thing I've always said, and I've always told my brother Hub, where behind the scenes is sometimes the pastor need a pastor.
Yes, sir.
you know, Chico Hines. Shout out to Chico Hines, but Chico Hines stopped me one day in my tracks when I was talking about LDA, which I do in Rantoul. He said, what you have to realize is men need LDA too. LDA is bigger than the middle school kids you're dealing with. These men need LDA. And I knew it was accurate because when we started BLT, we were looking for the young teenagers. But the older guys all the way up to 50 showed up, you know, 6 to 90 in 3 weeks, but it wasn't what we targeted. It was their fathers. And so that's rich.
I thank the Lord for just having discernment, man. And, I think big shouts out to AOH and
Pastor
Wright, in this past, and then Sister Wright. I just been able to speak with her through a program I was doing this past week, online, and that great technology. But it's leading me into a direction, right? So when I had the barbershop, right, I had many of people that come into the barbershop, just different walks of life, and I would have the guys that were working jobs, right? And they would come in and they would be tired, overworked, underpaid, you know, and you would see that example of manhood. Those younger guys would see that hard-working guy and that guy that was frustrated, you know, with being able to go and rinse and repeat and do the same thing. And then I had the guys from the hood, man, that was looking good, man, fly on a Wednesday, you know, on their way to an afternoon barbecue, you know. And so that vision, because you always talk about that vision. What is that vision? What's that outlook? So for a younger person trying to figure out this thing we call life, because adults don't even understand what this thing called life is. So for a younger person looking at those examples, you got to pick your choice. Pick your poison is what they say. So a lot of young folks pick that poison, right? And so when I'm sitting over here and I've been mentoring Teddy Kane for about the last 9 months. I've been knowing Teddy Kane forever, you know what I'm saying? And when I look at him, it's an example of one of the guys that had to say, man, how do I figure my way out? How do I figure out? How do I get out of this? How do I get out the hood? How I get my mama out of this situation? How I make a legacy for my life along with my family? And so, you know, and not telling too much of Teddy business, you know what I'm saying? He's facing something right now, you know what I'm saying? And me and him talked about it all. Me and him talked about it and what we were going to talk about today. So I'm not telling his business. You know what I'm saying? It was something that we want to be able to talk to and air out because he got some upcoming challenges. And we gonna ride down this road with you. Together. We gonna ride down this road with you all the way to whatever happens. We gonna ride down this road. But man, I thank the Lord for you, bro. And I want to say that. I want to say that publicly. I thank the Lord for you because you not only helped me grow. I've talked to you so many times. I talked to you so many times during when I was trying to learn trucking. And I've talked to you more late night on the road, and me talking to you and you talking back to me, and you feed me and I'm feeding you, and there's so many things, you know, through 2 or 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and we talking about your life is going through, you know, trying to make it as an artist, you know, and the challenges you had is trying to be an artist, you know, and people trying to hang that carrot in your face saying you can make it, which I always thought you could make it. I remember one of your albums I listened to for 2 years straight. Dirty Clothes. I never. Dirty Clothes. I got to go YouTube that one. For the longest, and because of just the hoops and just the scenarios and all the different things, you know, that album didn't make it to where I thought it should be. You know. And so, man, you tell us a little bit of whatever you want to tell us, whatever you wanted to tell us, what you want to tell us about, you know, your current situation, what you meant, your challenges, and maybe even how we've been able to just meet those challenges and help you, you know, along the way, see stuff different.
Absolutely, man. That's a big question right there, but it's so many things like you know, a problem or a scenario or a story or things we go through. It's a learning experience for me, probably for you as well. Like, you know, I talk to so many young men as well who go and facing situations, and as they learn it, it's a teachable moment for myself. You know what I'm saying? We learn every day. You know, it's just so many different ways to look at a story. Like I was talking to you about last night, I believe I was watching the Kanye story, and I actually had the opportunity to be around some of the moments. You know, I was a younger guy, and I was trying to be a songwriter, an artist myself, and was around. But the lens I was looking through at that time was totally different than who I am now.
It was perverted. The lens was perverted.
And what I see now. So in watching part of that story last night, it was just, it was heavy. It was heavy. You know, to see it, and I mean, we even one of the scenes I was there. Like I could hear myself talking in the background, and it was just really heavy. And I just think that we facing some rough times because, like we for instance, what you were saying, man, what we're fighting against is. like for instance, I'll take a Snoop Dogg for instance. I'm just looking at him, love him to death, love Snoop Dogg. I think he's a great guy. Influenced my life. You know, as a kid, I influenced many people. But when you look at what Snoop Dogg is, in actuality, they've been promoting the Crip all this time. Good guy, you know what I'm saying? But it's like the examples that we have of success are not.
They're perverted.
They're perverted example. You know what I'm saying? And so when you're a young man, you looking at. Everybody wants to win, like you said. I got that from him. It's a simple thing, but everybody wants to win. Everybody wants to be successful. And so when I look at my examples of which direction to head to, I look at people who I relate to. That's the first thing you're going to look to. You're going to look to who you can relate to, who's been where you've been, who looks like you.
Yeah.
And every example that I can point to has, I mean, man, is the same images. You know, so it doesn't tell me to go. It doesn't tell me to go to school. I mean, because like he was saying earlier, most of the examples that we see of hard-working men, we choose to look at those images in a negative light, because we see the struggles, we see the stress, we see our grandfathers and fathers going working hard, every man, and it's like without appreciation.
Never make ends.
The world don't appreciate them. The women sometimes don't even appreciate them. It's like. If you look on the internet, you'll see all the women. They don't want no average man. Everybody want a man who's making $100,000, $200,000 and up, and that's only 3% of people, the population in the world.
But half of them women can't even cook.
Yeah.
But you want a man making $100,000 a year, you can't even cook.
So it's like when you a negative path is almost stupid not to go down. If you think about it, sometimes if you stand in the shoes of a young man out here who trying to figure his way out and he don't have no mentor or no example, it ain't about talking to him, it's the example that's important. If he don't have the example to look to,
living example.
Yeah, the living example.
I call it a picture.
Yeah, and that picture got to be more attractive than the devil picture. Because they painted some mean pictures out there, bro. It's hard to it's hard for me, man. You know what I'm saying?
Let me chime in. And I'm looking at you, I'm speaking about you, but I'm still relating it to myself. It's a process. You know, when I was laying on the couch crying myself to sleep, 2-time divorcee, didn't feel I was fit to preach no more, wasn't gonna kill myself, but let me just be cool. Why I got to be all in let me just move back to Texas and move around in silence. Why I got to be all in the front, God, right? But he gave me an amazing another chance. 57 with a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old. I got some amazing older kids. Unfortunately, I missed a lot of those moments because I was in Korea, I was in Iraq, I was in Desert Storm, I was in Germany, you know, I was out in the field for 30 days. And so, but he gave me another amazing chance. And now it's not a week go by to where somebody calling me saying they're getting a divorce. And I just get so excited because he's giving me another chance, and the opportunity is to be a blessing to others so they don't make the same mistake. So before we went live, I told you, man, God finna blow your mind. And I don't expect for you to fully understand that now. But I already know it because I'm plugged. He's going to blow the socks off. And it doesn't mean that you don't have to go through a process. Right? We just passed a building that looked like cluster, saws, noisy, plaster flying our way. We just passed the building that we passed a few months ago, and Sean said, man, that building is up now. Right? Yeah. But the process looked ugly. Yeah. But the building is amazing, and people have moved into there. And so everything that God has allowed you to go through is for his glory, man. And you're going to be able to, you're the epitome, you're a microcosm of what needs to happen in communities all over this country. Because you have to be able to build a relationship with these young cats. Yeah. Because they drawn in, they don't trust nobody, And so we have to be creative in how we even get into space with them. Yeah. We have to be creative. And when you open your mouth They gonna know that ain't nothing you read from this paper in no Bible. They gonna know. They gonna hear your story. And that's when the influence gonna begin to flow. I want to keep talking, but he ready to talk. I can feel it. Go ahead,
just jumping in and chiming in, man, and fitting into that, man. You made impact on a lot of lives. You know what I'm saying? And you've always been a great guy. You've always been a great guy. So I mean, and we as a community, we have to realize that great guys have challenges too.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I just talked to an officer this morning, at the gym. He got some challenges he got to face.
Yeah.
But as a community, we got to love on him.
Yeah.
I had to be a friend because I've been knowing this guy for a long time and let him know, hey man, you're a great guy. You're a great guy.
Yeah.
Because I was at church Easter Sunday, this past Easter. And so the pastor preached about Jesus, and he preached about him being on the cross and him being humiliated and all of those different things. But he talked about how the devil really wanted to get to Jesus's mind. He wanted to humiliate him and get to his mind, wanted him to denounce what his belief was and what he came to do. And so, and he related that back to us. He said, man, we face so many challenges, and what the devil wants is your mind. And even though you're going through whatever you're going through, don't let him take your mind. And I gave that guy that same analogy this morning. He's not a black guy. When it comes down to community and we in the military, it's people are people. And so our job is to build them up and tell him, don't let the devil get your mind, man. Wherever you're going through, don't let him steal your joy. Don't let him get your mind. Because if you can make it through and still got your right mind, you can still do amazing things, And so that's one of the things, because we got a lot of toxic everything out here, toxic examples of what masculinity look like, toxic examples of what you should be doing as far as in relationships, toxic examples of what type of woman you should get, toxic examples all over the place, and it's promoted.
Yeah.
Society promotes that. They not promoting the working guy.
Yeah.
You don't see too many carpenters on a billboard talking about follow me.
No.
You see guys that's making it rain in the club, and you see the ladies bouncing around half naked.
Yeah.
All of those things you don't see, and a lot of people that fell back. I went to a meeting the other day about community gun violence. Me and you was at the meeting. And what I explained to those folks is all the money you done spent, all the meetings and hundreds of hours and hundreds of thousands of hours of meetings that we done been at together. It ain't working. Gun violence is up all around the country. I don't care if you in I got a brother-in-law. He from Pace, Mississippi. If you just walk off the porch, you see all your neighbors. That's how small it is. Yeah. But it's gun violence in Pace, Mississippi. How has gun violence got to Pace, Mississippi? I was listening to Al Sharpton's show, and a lady called in and said she was from some little small town in Louisiana. And she said, we're a community of 300 people. She said, but it's a murder every week. But the powers to be know exactly what they doing, strategically doing it, promoting this stuff to our people and affecting their lives and their future. But folks, we're in a society now where you don't get time enough to fail. Yeah. We want to slam everybody. Point the finger at everybody, and what we don't do is like to do a man in the mirror check, and we don't like to be transparent and say, you know what, I'm failing in some areas too. We don't see the value in people. We talk a lot about value.
Right. Yeah.
We don't see the value in people to tell them that.
Yeah.
And so everybody at that meeting, when I was at that meeting, I had to tell them, hey man, I don't have solutions right at this moment. But I tell you what, the last 10 years of work, 15 years of work, it seems like we ain't been doing no work because it ain't been working. Because we're not, I don't think we're addressing the grassroots issues. First of all, we got to acknowledge that there's powers to be that's leading us down this destructive path. And we got to be able to call that out. We got to be able to tell Riska Records, Aristot Records, Interscope Records, Sony. You're no longer gonna promote this type of message, man, to my people, man.
And we have to start holding each other accountable. Not saying that we have to come at him bogusly, nothing like that. Like I said earlier, I love Snoop. Man, I will go see him right now because I can,
I saw him when he came here, took care of his people.
But it's like we have to take the responsibility. We have to stop allowing that poison because we know better. Now that I know better, I can't allow it. I mean, I have to do my best, and I'm not saying it in a harsh way because we got to figure it out together. You know, and the thing is that the influence is the biggest power that artists have. It ain't the money. It ain't. It's the influence, and the people have realized that, and they're using these people to influence us in these directions. And the problem I see is, I used to hear this all the time with a lot of our black celebrities. Well, I do this, but just because you don't see me do it, that don't mean I ain't a good person. I ain't. But we gotta we gotta see you do it, brother. Because we done seen because it's about your influence. Is the greatest thing you got.
Yeah, but you hit me all in the eye because I hear that too here, but I don't see it. And so in the last 2 days, I've really been trying to humble myself so I don't come off as bashing the next person. But bro, I've been watching this video for 10 years and I ain't seen nothing change. I hear what you're saying, but it ain't no results. And when I call somebody out on that, I'm bashing them. So I got to be more creative and more loving, right? So that, man, you always bashing the next man. I got to work on that because people's perception is their reality. But as a military man, when I ran the Army recruiting station here in Champaign for 4 years, I got 7 recruiters. I'm responsible from Paxton to Arcola and from Oakwood to Muhammad. 20-some schools and Parkland and U of I. I can't be with all 7 recruiters. But you got 30 days to put 2 people in, and it's been 3 months and you ain't putting nobody in, and you want me to hear your story talking about you trying? You finna get fired. And your family, y'all finna get up out of here if you don't do better. That's the way we roll. We need results. My boss ain't trying to hear them stories. Hey man, can I get a suit on credit, man? I'll pay you next year, man. Come on, Hub, you got all these suits in there. My landlord is not trying to hear that story. He want results. And they come in the form of Benjamin Franklin's. And so I thank God for Dr. Peppers and Dr. Parsons. I met with Peppers yesterday, Parsons today, because I don't want to be, I'm here to help, man. I'm not here to, I'm here to build. But we got, like he said, man, we've been watching this video a long time. We have to do something different. And then when I start telling folks about things that's working for me, now I'm bragging. Now it's all about me. No, listen to me. This is how it works. We're going to build a $15,000 to $20,000 studio. We're going to let the middle school and high schools leave at a certain time. Then we're going to bring the shooters in. Now you leave the weed and you leave the guns out there, but I want y'all in here. We're not charging nothing. Y'all make music and we gonna vibe and build relationships. What you want on your pizza? We ain't drinking no beer, but what you like, Mountain Dew and Sprite. Right? Where everybody can get a studio, but everybody ain't gonna roll with them like I'm rolling with them. They gonna have a studio and it's gonna be empty. And so, but I'm having to, like he say, look in the mirror to make sure that I'm not coming off as one who don't want the community, because that's the only reason I'm here.
You know what? I think that's important what you just said, because it's like we all, even amongst the people who want to help and do better, we all have our own opinion of what we think works, what works for us. So it's sometimes when we can't get along sometimes. We gotta figure, even against myself, we gotta figure out how we get along and how I can listen to what you gotta say and tell you how it works for me. And because it's always a learning process.
Yeah.
We ain't figured it out. They ain't been figured out yet.
Yeah.
So we are.
Real quick, because he read it, I want to say this real quick. So as an Army recruiter in Gary, Indiana, I was the #1 recruiter in the state of Illinois and Indiana. Your dad was up in the MEPS kicking it. He had his feet kicked back, telling, when we come in process. But I was an amazing recruiter, right? But I didn't do it the way they taught me. I did it the Dunbar Court way. I had napkins. I wrote on paper towels. Hey man, let me holler at you real quick. I wasn't a formal guy. But when I won top recruiter and they moved me here to run the whole station, 7 recruiters, I couldn't teach them Hub way. I had to teach them by the book and then let their personality break down. And so I'm sharp enough to know Dream ain't gonna move like not on my watch. Now with me and Dream are partnering because he has some gifts and I have some gifts and our birthday's on the same day. But I don't expect Tracy to move the way I move, right? Mm-hmm. And we gotta understand that we move different. We gotta respect the fact that we all move different. But at the end of the day, there's gotta be some results.
Oh, that's what we got.
Yeah, you gotta have some results. Mm-hmm. When I roll back to what we started that little conversation off about is that being able to show the results, right? And so that example, right, of what a not-for-profit organization that's contributing to the community look like. I had a pastor that told me that one time. He said, and he got a pretty large church in this community, and he said, well, we do a lot behind the scenes. And I'm like, well, you got to get out here and let people know what you're doing, and he didn't think the same way I did. He felt as though, just do it behind the scenes and it was good enough. But what Karen Sims told me, if the people don't see your facility, your organization being relevant, then it's non-existent. You don't offer anything. And so in that meeting that we were in the other day, and we were talking about gun violence, and we listened to the stories, and Karen gave an exquisite way of describing trauma, right? I mean, she talked about some things that was hitting me straight upside the head because I'm dealing directly with, through the funeral home experience, I'm dealing directly with the deceased. I'm dealing directly with the folks that's dealing with immediate trauma. And those families, them babies. And so when Peppers got in, he commented and he said what a mother was saying to protect her son, and all of that type of stuff. What I was thinking in my head, I'm having flashbacks of all these young folks. And I'm in tears. But I had to hit Karen on the side and said, you know what? I might need some trauma support. Right. I might need to talk to somebody. Right. See, a lot of times black folks, we don't say that.
I go every month.
It's me, oh Lord, standing in the need of prayer. Yeah. We ain't saying that because we always want to present ourselves as we always got it all together. And we got to show up to every scene at every moment like we got it together. That's that fictitious lifestyle that folks like to show up. Hey, look, I got it together. I got big knots. I got big rims. I got, my chick look like this. You see the girls with the eyelashes and, all the makeup and the quick weave and, and all that. Not knowing they tore up in the inside. And that's got trauma that we've been dealing with that my grandmama never addressed. And she put that spell on me. Or she put it on her mama. And then her mama put it down on me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. My daddy or his daddy, the grandfather, he was dealing with inside trauma. And nobody never talked about that. And then I was listening to somebody on the radio this morning talk about reparations, right? Reparation. The Biden administration, they talk about reparations. But we owe our own selves some reparation.
Oh, that's
go
good.
Back.
That's good.
To be able to go back and say, you know what, grandson, I didn't really, teach dad the right way. Now that I see the picture a little bit clear, we just go off in life and go to our grave and never really fix the problems that we messed up. Because we got people messed up in the community, man. And the reason why we so frustrated, because a lot of people's normal ain't our normal. They've been living an abnormal life for 30, 40, 50 years. I go in some people's house and be like, oh, whoa, let me hear him get up out of here, man. Yeah. I ain't know, and you thinking it's cool. To me, bro, are y'all living like this? You living like peasants. Man. But to me, I'm ready to bounce. To them, they ready to go to sleep. They can lay down and go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so, so we got to be able to understand that there's some things in society that we have promoted. Yeah. To put people in the positions that they in. And you got to have that compassion to say, hey man, I'm partially responsible for this.
Yeah. Yeah, but I believe, see, you know what, I'm afraid of reparations, to be honest with you. I think they're necessary, we deserve them, but I'm afraid that we don't have, we're not organized enough, we don't have leadership, and I'm afraid that we would get reparations and give it all right back. And then, you know what, after they gave you the reparations, you won't want to hear nothing else.
Discipline,
you don't want to hear nothing else.
Discipline is huge. Discipline is, go ahead. No, so
I don't know if, would reparations fix the problem? I feel they could if we was disciplined, if we had a direction we were headed in as a people. But we don't have that, and I think we need to get that together. And once we get that together, then we can fight more for the reparation. I think there is a lot of people organized and together, but the promotion of it is not there. So, with the internet, I'm learning, I'm seeing more and more brothers and people out there who doing great things, you know what I'm saying, and advancing for the advancement of our people. But we got to come together, man. Like, we need a real, true leadership. Not no rappers who ain't never dedicated their life to the advancement of their people. But and we need the rappers because they influences everything. But we need them. But where's the promotion? We ain't had a Dr. King since, man. We ain't had a. I mean, what has been done since Dr. King or Malcolm been gone?
Oh man, you don't. I bet can't neither one of us tell us right now who is the national president for the NAACP.
I can't tell you.
Who is the national president for the Urban League? I bet I can ask my audience that. I bet I can ask social media that. And I bet a bunch of people can't tell me none of that. Who is the national leader for the Church of God in Christ?
I know that because
I know you know that.
Yeah,
I know you know that. I know you. Hey, you gotta write that check.
No, I'm not coaching. I'm not coaching. I'm not.
Check your ties in your office.
Yeah, I'm not coaching, but I know that. I try to stay in tune on the spiritual, but I submit to you, from the White House to the crack house, we're lacking in leadership. Yeah. And it's so frustrating to me. I mean, I was in a couple of meetings. These last couple of days, and man, and I just got to slow down and.
You're a soldier, man.
Relax.
You're a soldier.
And I can't look at Champaign-Urbana like I look at the Army.
You're a soldier.
Because it's night and day, man. And it's so much. And as a leader, you gotta, if you lead and ain't nobody following, you just taking a walk. So ain't no sense in me saying, I'm a leader, they don't know what to do, so forget them. No, you're not a leader. Unless you can reach down and grab them and massage them and coach them into what you do in your sleep. Do you hear me? What I do in my sleep, they don't have a. But God is steady telling me that's why I sent you. I didn't send you to tell me what they don't know. I sent you to tell them, and not tell them, show them, connect, you said earlier, influence them to know it like you know it in your sleep. That's what I'm getting graded on. And the thing is, I'm gonna say this, and I told this to a young man today. I was on my way back from my daughter's graduation, and my kids, everybody had pumped me up. I was coming back here to sell my store. I was making deals on the way all the way back to Texas, and I got to Effingham and that cross. And God said, if you leave Champaign-Urbana, I'm going to take my hand off you. Really? I done line all this stuff up. I'm an hour from making some stuff happen. And so I said, do me a favor, Lord, because I'm not going to go against you, but do not let me rot in that city that don't want change. Right? Man, where Hub come from, man? Man, he come out of nowhere. Man, I've been back here since 2008 putting in work, moving in silence. Not just, backbone of Black Home, we finna do it. We ain't done it in 2 years. But man, we've been doing it a long time, and people's like, what? Well, I never heard this. Yeah, we've been around. We've been around. And so, but true leadership is displayed in chaos, not calmness. Yeah. Anybody can lead when everything going good. But when it's jacked up and they looking for somebody to blame,
because funny how time flies when we having fun, man. And so, one of the things, Brother Hub, the reason why it's so hard for you and hard for me to turn a deaf ear or not see what we see is because we was taught and don't leave no soldier behind.
Never leave a fallen comrade.
A lot of people can make it to their destination and watch a lot of people fall along the way. So we try to bring somebody with us. And that's hard to do in a community like this here. We've been watching people and we've been watching money getting debited and programs go forth and ain't connecting with the people that really need the program. We've been watching money that go down the waste and then we go see them go back on TV and they say we need some more money. COVID just put a whole lot of money out here in the street. People got more money, they ain't even going to work. The programs got money, they say we don't even know what to do with all the money. So which is called, which we learned through economic conversation, which we're gonna go down that road, it's called inflation. Because too much, everybody got money, supply and demand.
You gotta get the money back.
So, supply and demand, is so much demand, but supply ain't catching up. And people saying, man, where my stuff at? They tell Amazon, where you at? Because everybody got money. So we dictating the pace. Too many people dictating the pace. Our economy don't work off everybody dictating the pace. Okay? And so, and then my other thing for it is that mentorship.
I got a question for you real quick. Hold a thought on mentorship. What happened when we was running and old Big Joe fall back? And we on the 3rd mile, and Big Joe about 500 meters. What did the whole unit have to do?
Oh, we already know. If we was running as a small platoon, or if we was running as the whole unit, as the whole company. Platoon, 12 guys. 15 guys, men and women, or we was 300 strong. We got to go back and
get him. Can't leave him.
We got to bring him back.
So now a 3-mile run is a 5-mile run because he started falling back, and we got to turn around and go get him.
And we did it so repetitious that it became part of our mental capacity that we can't leave nobody behind. Right. See, we're in a society where it's taught win, lose. Win, lose. That's what our society teaches. Win, lose. Corporate world, win. Consumer, lose every time. And we got to change our mentality because that's where leadership come into play at. And we spend our most intricate moments in spaces around people we feel comfortable with, which is i.e. pastor, whoever, and he ain't teaching the right stuff, how to win, lose. We supposed to be teaching everybody that's under this leadership win, win. Win. Not keep hitting me upside the head, keep beating me down with the word, talking about I ain't doing right. I'm not doing right because you're not teaching right. You're not giving me. I wrote down here earlier, present your body a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable, which is your reasonable service.
Come on, preacher.
Okay? I've been going to church all my life, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I don't want you to forget your mentorship.
And so I'm not going to forget it. Because the biggest gift that you can leave all, and I told you this here when I was personally telling you about your dad. I said, don't make him feel bad now. I said, but you let him know how important mentorship is. Passing the baton and being able to physically see it. Passing the baton and watch how his work.
Watch how his vision is carried on.
It's nothing better, Teddy, than we got Teddy heavily involved into the stock market. Then we start teaching Teddy the stock market and how it works, what candlesticks look like, what support and resistance look like, and being able to see him teach it in the class, and all I gotta do is lay back. Lay back. Roland ain't gotta do nothing but lay back and watch Teddy do his thing in 9 months. Living example of what this young man's capacity. He never knew that he could do what he do.
He didn't know nothing about train the trainer.
I never knew I could do what I'm doing. Because in society and what we're structured and the systems that's teaching us teaches us you're smart, you're stupid. Instead of being creative in the way, because we need workers. I understand how the system works. We need workers. So we need this segment of people to be stupid. So we put a grade point average on them. And you're always a D. You start thinking that in 5th grade they tell you was a D student. You was a D student. So all through life you've been a D student until you run up on a rolling hunt. That now show me TD Ameritrade, and then only 3% of the world know trading strategies the way we know. I'm gonna tell your business because you don't want to tell your business. I'm gonna tell your business because you don't want to tell your business. Me and him having a economic conversation today. We got a practice account, where TD Ameritrade gives us a $200,000 practice account. So that's what me and the rest of the students do.
You still never beat me in that. Just
and we can. That was market watch.
It don't matter.
We didn't advance. And so we're going back and forth today because Netflix had earnings. Most of the folks that's over here won't even know what earnings is. Okay, because we just get bumped upside the head, and we don't even know why we got bumped upside the head. Because nobody's lead. We just all follow. Okay. So Netflix had earnings today, right? And so in the earnings call early morning, we start getting reports out. So through our social media or whatever you watch or whatever you listen to, CNBC or whatever the case it is, boom, it went from 325. Was it about 325 a share?
I believe so.
I think it was somewhere up there. And it dropped down to 214. Well, we say, well, what happens in Ukraine ain't got nothing to do with us. Well, yeah, it do. Yeah, it do, because what happened is that we ended up getting up out of Russia. We forced Netflix to get out of Russia. That was 700,000 viewers. Then Netflix went up on their price. So now you got folks that's on a budget, because everybody on the stream budget. So now they said, I'm not paying no $19 for no streaming service when I can go to Tubi or YouTube, or I can use. We can share Netflix. As a matter of fact, you get the subscription. You got some money in your bank account. You get the subscription, and me and Teddy gonna piggyback off you. And so you got people cutting back, getting creative. And so what happened today? He seen the move. He set it up in his practice account, and then he was able to take a $1,500 investment. $1,500 and make $30,000 in his trading account, practice account. Now, y'all, I want you to get that right, practice account now. Practice account.
Come rob me,
There's no smoke. It was practice account. Practice money. But if we could teach that, that's teaching men how to not how to be fishermen, and that's biblical. Be fishermen of men. Teach them how to get out there and really make it for themselves. If we knew what to do with money, they tell us to go get some money, but we only following Black Friday, sale on Sunday, all of those type of things. So we study, rinse and repeat, and that's the reason why we not doing no better than our grandparents, because everybody starts from the same place. It's nowhere, and so our economic conversation, 2008 housing crisis. Man, you took the real estate class. What did our instructor call this minority program that was going on?
They had a code
way before.
Yeah, they had a code for it.
Do you remember?
I don't remember, but I remember we jumped all over it.
Well, we it's only a few blacks in the class.
Ninja.
I told it to Teddy. It was called the Ninja program. We never knew nothing about it, and the people that's in these vital areas. They never told us that look like us. That's in our church or in our community groups or in our barbershops. They never came back and told us, hey man, it's a minority program out there, and all you gotta do is say, go to the bank and tell them what you make. Tell them your income. Oh, my name is Sean Williams. I make $200,000 and I blah, 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 blah. And then they give you a house based on what you said, not on what you proved. Not off your tax returns and all that stuff, just off of what you said. Well, other folks knew the program was out there. So they was giving houses to everybody. That's what caused the 2008 housing crisis. So now, when that happened, we go back to reparations. What happened is that, so when Obama got in there, he faced with this crisis. So his economic leaders came in and said, hey, look, we can afford to give every American, 365 million Americans in America, We can give every American $1 million to boost the economy back up because they know we don't know what to do with our own money. And they would have got their money back. Right back now. But it probably would have caused so much chaos and confusion because I'm going to run through my money, then I look at HUD. I look over there at Teddy. You still got your million? You got your million? It would have been so much crime going on throughout America because we got this freedom to do what we want.
Not to mention the crime of people coming at your money. I'm talking about legal. Legitimately coming to you with opportunities.
You know how they do at Walmart. Yeah. Slip and fall. I'm slip and fall in your driveway. You know?
I mean, they gonna come to you like, you know, like the insurance man back in the old days.
Yeah, he come to the house.
Man,
all kind of
giving you this opportunity, and that's the problem. Well, we was having this conversation. A lot of times we don't believe a lot of things because we've always been the people that was preyed upon. So you know,
so we skeptical anyway.
We lagging on insurance policies, but now that we got brothers like this who in there and know how they go, now we need now we know we're missing this.
We can empower people with information. Empowerment. Yeah, we can empower people.
You got crypto coming up. It's gonna be a lot of schemers, people in there out to get you, and so it's gonna be a distrust. It's a distrust already because of this. You know what I'm saying? We've always been the prey.
We so far behind the economic conversation hub. I mean, like right now, everybody. I had a brother today. When I went to the gas station. Hey, brother, man, hey, what's going on, man? Let me hold something. Man, you've been saying that for 3 years. I let you hold something for the last 3 years. I said, man, every job in town hiring. Now, what type of person in your mind you think that you're going to be able to play me every time you see me? You know, I mean, how do you think you're going to manipulate the system? And here I am getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning and going to work to do what I'm supposed to do for my family, and you get the luxury. You get the luxury of not even paying attention to your family, not even trying to be some significant vessel, productive citizen in the community. You get the luxury of that. Come on, man. And you got to call that out in your community.
You know,
pick up your bed and walk, man.
We had sunrise service at 6 a.m. Sunday. And First Lady Perry, Elder Perry's wife, showed up. And after the preaching and everything, she got up to testify. But she said something that was so powerful, man, I cannot. It was right in line with the message. What she said, Teddy, is, how can we sleep at a time like this? Man, that thing hit me like a ton of bricks. I had in my purpose to go Facebook Live that night and preach it, but we ended up spending the evening over with the in-laws. But she said, how can we be asleep at a time like this, man? And that thing hit me like a ton of bricks with all that's going on in the world. And it brought me back to where when I first moved here in 2008 and Sean was taking me to all the meetings, and I'm laying back, I ain't saying a word, but I got all the military, I got intelligence on this side, I got executing, and I'm watching everything. We get in the car, and Sean just going on, and I let him talk, and I said, it's leadership. Oh, no, Hub, it ain't leadership. I said, bro, it's leadership, man. They sleep at the wheel. Right? Maybe a year and a half, 2 years later, Sean called me at midnight. He said, Hub, it's leadership.
You know, man, you just said that, you know what, God in my spirit, man, it's being woke and sleep at the same time. How can you be woke and sleep at the same time? It was a big cliche going on with everybody, living my best life. You living your best life and your worst life at the same time. And that's how the devil trick your mind. Back the old saints would call it a reprobated mind. You confused. You don't know if you're coming or going. You wonder, you think you're being successful, but you're not. You're being unsuccessful at the same time. And I'm talking about me. Me, oh Lord, standing in prayer. I'm thinking I'm on the right page. And I didn't know the stuff that we know now. We meet every week. And the sad part about it, is that it's a free class to the community. You know, I pay this guy to come in, hey man, look, come on in and teach the community for free. You know, and we don't find the value in free. I mean, you just talked about it. We just talked about it in the car.
Sure
we don't find the value in free. We gonna take advantage of Brother Hub if it's for free. But then we put $1,000 on it, and then we find out, we say, well, man, he charging $1,000. Man, let me see if I can. I know Brother Hub. Let me see if I can get his services for $800. You know, and then we feel good about the 800. I'm gonna tell you, this is the way I did. You know, a lot of y'all won't be transparent, but I'm gonna tell you straight up. When I was selling dogs, when I was selling pit bulls back in the day, you know, I found out how people do you. I ain't want number 150 for my dog, you know, 150, but they come to you with $75. I boost my dogs up with some pictures of Big Boy and all this in the background. Oh no, I need 800 just for Big Boy no being in the background in the shop. You know, I need 800. You know what I'm saying?
That's
and now
advertising fees.
Now you come to me for 500.
Bad.
Now I got over an abundance of what I really wanted. You see what I'm saying? But that's just the nature of the people that you're dealing with and how screwed our minds is. Same dog, same litters, you know, but that's how, and that is what, and that